All right, we're here with skipper Ben Taylor for episode 3 of Taylor's Take, and we'll start off with an easy one. How are we feeling right now, BT?
Good. First place, guys are playing really hard. We went through a really long stretch of games, did a good job. Everybody's healthy. Everybody's improving. Things are just a lot of fun right now.
So the first topic we'll start with is the Kenai trip, and we'll begin on the baseball field. How do you think your guys played within that 5 games?
I thought we did a good job. We started slow with the first game, but I thought the 3 games in a row we won in the middle were really good, and we did a pretty good job on the getaway day, and to go 3-2 on the road there, for 5 days in the cold weather and all that kind of stuff. I thought we did a really good job.
You mentioned you guys did a good job. How good did it feel to get those 3 wins in a row?
Yeah,
after
we had
losing
to.
A tough first game.
Yeah, we had to. We had to bounce back, and the way we bounced back was really good, and just shows how committed the guys are and how good of a job they're doing.
So I think almost as important as the on-field play is in Kenai is almost the off-the-field advantage. Staying in the bingo hall, guys really getting to know each other. You said when talking to the team before we left that they were really battle-tested before heading to Kenai, and you never really experienced that before. Yeah. How much more did they add to that sort of mantra at Kenai?
Yeah, guys got closer. We shared a bunch of meals together, spent a lot of time together. The Kenai trip's a really good bonding trip, and I don't think I've ever had a team go to Kenai that late, so it was good. It was good to get out of town and for the guys to, get away and spend some time together.
And we did get 2 new guys right before the Kenai trip, and Josh Hatcher and Denver McQuarrie.
Yeah.
How did it feel for those guys that almost just thrown right in the mix, especially going to Kenai right away?
Yeah, I think that was good for them. It was a way for those guys to get acclimatized to, the team and meet their teammates and just kind of how things go, and that's a really good icebreaker.
So we'll bring it back now sort of into Palmer, and we're just over halfway through the season, and what's something that this team has differentiated themselves from the rest of the teams you've coached up here?
Every team's different in their own way. I think these guys, they've just gotten smarter as the summer's gone on. They've played smarter, they've made adjustments quicker, they've figured out how the league works, and I think they're just having a good time. Every team's got their own quirks and whatever, but this is a really special team, and I'm having a lot of fun coaching them.
And something I talked to a guy with last year, Spencer Henson, about, he said you guys are playing a lot more small ball this year instead of power. Is that sort of a strategy you had coming into this year with knowing the talent-wise, or is that something you guys just kind of picked up?
No, I just think you go with your personnel. We've got some guys that can operate that way, and but we do have our boppers, and Spence is one of them, and Nick Brooks just came into town, hit for some power in the middle of the lineup. So, sometimes you got to take what you're given, and if we got to play for a run, we'll play for a run, and if we need somebody to pop one out and play for 3, then we'll play for 3.
And around the clubhouse, who are some guys that have stepped up to be leaders, maybe some guys who expected to be leaders, some guys you didn't really expect, and maybe an unsung hero? Yeah,
it's just nice when the older guys act like older guys and play like older guys. Veteran guys like Van Blake and Henson and Pinarini, senior guys that are going to be seniors. But the nice part is the younger guys have really started to step up. Bassetti's starting to play like he's, been an everyday guy up here for 30 games and was an everyday guy at Reno. And Swift has been a lockdown defensively, and Walters is really, from A&M, has really come into his own offensively of late. So it's just fun to watch the guys grow up and develop, as the weeks go on.
And how important you think it is for these younger guys, like you mentioned, Swift, Bozzetti, and Walters, to learn from guys like Henson and Pinarini and Van Blake, to learn how to be leaders and better baseball players?
Yeah, that's how you learn. You learn by watching. You learn by watching and then by doing. And, if the older guys set a good example for the younger guys, it just kind of sorts itself out.
And so as we're halfway through the season, obviously playoffs are starting to become in the back of everyone's minds. What are some keys to finish the season on a real high note to give you guys a good spot heading into the playoffs?
We just got to keep winning games. We've got a three-game lead right now, and, it's 3-game lead's better than 2-game lead kind of thing. I mean, we just got to keep plugging along and winning games as we go, and then trying to lock up one of those home seeds, and then we kind of go from there.
And have you guys discussed at all about the home field advantage and about how important that is, or is it just something that it'll come along when it gets there?
Yeah, I mean, we talked about it here in the office, but, I mean, you can't look that far ahead. All you can do is worry about, the 12th of July and then the 13th and 14th and so on and so on. I mean, August is a long way away.
Yeah. And how cool is it for you guys? I know you always set a list of goals just right out here in the clubhouse of wins. Have they ever really stepped onto approach like that before, or is it something new for them?
I don't know. I mean, that's the way we've always done it. I don't know. Some guys, I'm sure that's how they've done it at their schools. But, we like to make a big thing out of it and find things to celebrate and get excited about. And, checking boxes is a lot of fun. These guys like that.
And so coming up this weekend, we got the Scouts Showcase. Yep. How excited are you for your guys to display their talents?
It's fun because the guys can just show out a little bit, and there's a little less pressure. They're non-conference games, and it's pressure in a different way because they got to play in front of the scouts and show off their stuff. But it's a fun weekend. It gets you a little bit of a breather in the middle of the season, and I'm looking forward to it.
And how excited are you just for the whole festivities of the All-Star Game and the Home Run Derby, which are almost games that guys can sort of just relax and just play super smoothly as opposed to a game that's sort of in conference?
Yeah, it's a lot of fun. And, I like being around the players from the other teams, too. You get to know those guys. I mean, you only see them from across the field, every night. And you get to, chit-chat with them and, shoot the breeze with those guys is a lot of fun, too.
And so sort of the last few things we'll talk about is almost what was the best moment in Kenai from this past week?
Oh, I don't know. I mean, you'd have to ask one of the players. I mean, the Kenai trip's more for them that way. I mean, it's pretty status quo for the coaching staff. I mean, but it's just fun to get out of town for a few days.
Yeah, and I know the bullpen has sort of adopted the nickname the Electric Factory. What are your thoughts towards
that? I had no idea about that. That's an interesting name for those guys. No, they do a good job. That's probably one of the moments that you bring that up. They were a real lift. Those guys are rowdy in the bullpen, and, they provide a lot of energy. And, there's times when you're playing every day and it starts to drag a little bit. Those guys get us pumped up and get their teammates revved up. So, yeah, they're a lot of fun to watch.
And I think it really showed in Game 2 when you guys coming off that tough first game loss, the wrong load trip, everyone's kind of tired. But in Game 2, they were literally celebrating after every single thing that the team did right. So how important was that?
Yeah, it was great. It gives those guys a lift, I mean, because there's not many position players in the dugout, during the game, and the energy's got to come from somewhere, and the bullpens. They're really good at it.
And have you seen some of the celebrations? If so, would you rate any of them?
Yeah, I've seen it. And the nice part is the kids on the other clubs, they're starting to like it too. I mean, it's just, we're lucky to have those guys the way they go about it.
Have you ever had a group like that or sort of a real
Not like this. Those guys are crazy.
All right, so I think that's about all I have for you.
Man.
Skipper Ben Taylor, thanks for coming on another episode of Taylor's Take, and that'll do it.
Thanks, buddy.